Welcome. We're opening an exciting part of our toolbox, and there's going to be a whole series of videos around this called polyrhythms. Today's video is an introduction to what are polyrhythms and what are they not, what are they possibly useful for, how can we integrate them into our musicianship, and you'll be specifically learning the first polyrhythm, the 2-3 polyrhythm. So let's have a listen to that now. Okay, so what are polyrhythms? The word poly means many, and rhythm, so many rhythms, meaning that we've got more than one rhythm running. And the definition of a polyrhythm is two rhythms that are in disagreement with each other. So a 1 against 2 or a 2 against 1 is not a true polyrhythm because it's a 2 is divisible by 1, right? There's not a really disagreement there. And the same for 1 against 3 and 1 against 4. That's not a true polyrhythm. It's a ratio. Great, brilliant. We want to be able to use ratios. But polyrhythms are a whole other genre of possibility. And so 2 against 3, for example, is a polyrhythm because 2 and 3 are in disagreement with each other. 4 against 5, 5 against 6, 6 against 7. They're not dividable by each other. And what this does is it creates the opportunity and possibility of polyrhythms, which is this cool cyclic phenomena of getting out of phase and then getting back in phase, getting out of phase and getting back in phase. And what this does is it brings a whole new level of vitality and interest and injects energetics into our playing and into our music, right? Polyrhythms are a little bit like tritones. We'll be exploring tritones in future videos, where polyrhythms can be used to create dissonance and tension, but they can also, and so we can inject them into blues and jazz and that side, but we can also put polyrhythms into minimalism and impressionism, and it gives us a floating lush sound. So how is it the same thing can come across as dissonant and tense, or plush and lush and floating? We're going to be exploring that, and tritones also have that same thing going on, where we can use it as tritone substitutions and create really strong dissonant resolutions, or we can just stay inside of certain tritonic chord structures, and it creates this lush, plush, floating sonic soundscape, right? So there's a lot going on in here. I'm very excited to be introducing polyrhythms today. And so we've talked about what it isn't. A 1 to 2 is not really a polyrhythm. It's a ratio, but it's not a polyrhythm. So our first actual appropriate, or our first possible polyrhythm, is a 2 to 3. And that's what we're going to unpack today, and that's the diagram that you can see there on the left. This video is brought to you by the technical musician, the number 6 musician. So it's all about drills and exercises. And whilst I can definitely just do drills and exercises myself personally for hours endlessly, I'm also very interested in applications. So in the future video, we'll be looking at applications of this 2-3 into our musicianship, into our playlist, and what's possible there for us. But let's get to actually learning what the 2-3 polyrhythm is into our hands. So from the diagram that you can see there, we've got a circle which represents a complete cycle of one enclosed polyrhythm, 1 2 to 3 cycle, or a bar of music if we wanted to put it like that. At the bottom of that picture we have some letters T, R, L, R, and the T stands for together, and the R for right, and the L for left. So what we're going to do is put them into our hands now, and we're not concerned about getting the relationships or getting the dynamic flow going yet. We're actually concerned about relationships. We're concerned about what are we doing. So we're doing together, right, left, right. Together, right, left, right. So we are concerned about relationships. We're just not concerned about the rhythmic flow yet. What is the pure rhythmic flow of a 2-3 polyrhythm? We're not worried about that at the moment. Also, the way I'm unpacking this is how we're going to unpack future polyrhythms as they get more and more complex, and it's going to make it really easy to pick up a new polyrhythm. So follow me on this technique of just getting the relationship together, right, left, right, together, right, left, right, together, right, left, right. And I'm doing this on a piece of wood, obviously, so you can see it, but I would do this on my knees, bop, 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 together, right, left, right, together, right, left, right. I'm just doing it here so you can see it. And then once you get that going, then we want to introduce a phrase, and that phrase will actually help lock us into the actual relationships between the hands, rhythmically speaking. So I'm going to do the process again, then introduce the phrase, which is tap on the beat. Together, right, left, right. Together, right, left, right. Together, right, left, right. Tap on the beat. 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 Nice cup of tea. Nice cup of tea. Not difficult. Not difficult. So you can see I used a few phrases there. In the picture you can see tap on the beat, but nice cup of tea also holds the rhythmic phrase that helps us lock this 2/3 polyrhythm in. Not difficult is also another great one. It's how we also say it helps us hold it together. So not difficult, not difficult. I am enunciating certain parts of those words to make it easier and find the actual flow. So we're matching the phrase against the actual rhythm. Not difficult, by emphasizing it in certain ways. Not difficult, not difficult. Tap on the beat, tap on the beat, tap on the beat. So what I would say is get that slowly into the hands, get the relationship first, introduce the phrase over the top. You'll notice that the phrase will start to lock the hands more into the actual 2/3 pure relationship of how they relate to each other rhythmically. And then I would just practice that off your instrument. You can practice it with your hands on your knees. You can get 2 chopsticks or 2 wooden pieces of wood or 2 sticks off the ground, and just get it into the body. And in a future video coming very soon, I will start to show you applications which are very exciting. I love to take an idea or an exercise or a drill and then show how to apply it and get really creative and have lots of fun with it. And let's just, to complete the video, let's just finish again with my 2 chopsticks. My metal one will be my 3, my wood one is my 2, and here we go. Not difficult, not difficult, not difficult. Tap on the beat, tap on the beat, tap on the beat, tap on the beat. Actually, I didn't really describe the diagram. That diagram, the circle is a complete bar, as I said before, but now we've got some shapes happening inside it. The red is represented by our 2 side, our left hand in this case. And so we have a red dot at the top and a red dot below, cutting the circle perfectly in half because there's only 2 in a complete lap. And we have a triangle cleaving the circle into 3, and that's our 3 side of the fence using our right hand. And you can see the relationship starting to unfold there. Each of us perceive things differently and learn things differently, so we'll be exploring the 3-dimensional diagram in future videos at greater depth with future polyrhythms. I just thought it'd be nice for you to see that map and the together, right, left, right. That really is our process for unlocking it and future more complex polyrhythms. So enjoy and welcome to the possibility of polyrhythm creativity. Ciao.